I've played Avowed for 15 hours already.
Is it out?
Is
Yeah,
it good?
Oh shit!
it
I had no idea
it
it was
is
out.
good and
He's
it is
played it for
out.
15 hours. I'd say it's pretty good.
uh, Mechanically, a lot like Outer Worlds, but I think much more polished and definitely a cooler, more fantasy-based
That's fine. The Steam
setting.
wish list can keep growing.
Yeah.
How's everybody's MLR doing?
Uh,
Everybody's doing
we won a
something
1 to
else.
0, and no one could hit.
My stats are really good, even though the team's is not.
Oh, so what you're
Your
saying
team
is
scored a lot.
people? Yeah, we're doing okay. I didn't get to play
Cardinals
at
had
all.
a last burst of energy right in the bottom of the sixth.
Yeah, I was happy for you when that
I'm
happened. I was like, CJ, they can help.
Yeah, it took me 2 innings to get back into the groove,
You looked really good
and
there at the end.
unfortunately, that resulted in it felt much better at the end. But giving up 4 runs in the first 2 innings sucked. But then I only gave up one more on a sac fly after that once I settled in.
Yeah, I was following
Nice.
your game, and I thought you were making some really smart moves, really keeping them off their toes as well. And the funny thing is, like, you can look at that and be like, okay, well, once I was in control, I started dominating pretty much, and then, the beginning of the game, that's a lot of that is going to be right. We're guessing right
Yeah.
now, so yeah,
Well, the Phillies also are a great team,
yeah, of course, of course.
and they were just fresher, ready to go.
So you guys both pitched in the first game of the season?
Yeah, well, I'm our team's veteran pitcher now.
Oh yeah, I
You're
forgot
the
about
only
that.
one.
Dan
You're
is
the only one still on the team, Dan.
the grizzled
It's me, Thick Mints, and Daniel Harrison.
Oh
and you
man.
coached them. What a storyline!
Oh
Oh,
man.
what a wild one.
I didn't
I
pitch at all. I
mean,
probably won't pitch.
we finished last year with just 3 pitchers, so I like the distribution of innings that comes with that.
Yeah, I bet you do. A lot of pitching. It's a lot of being out there, a lot of exposure.
I was glad
But
that I
the
turned my game around because it allowed me to do 6 innings, which I think might happen more often this year. We'll see.
This is the year Dan finally gets his first win.
We'll
Dan,
see.
you don't
I
have a
hope
win
so.
yet?
That's the hope.
Fuck, dude.
No,
We got
I have
we'll,
no
we'll get you
wins.
one. We're gonna get you one. That's not your
Winless.
fault. It's not your fault. Um,
No maidens?
it's crazy. My season is interesting. It's really playing just sitting and scouting and like without really the expectation to play has been pretty. I mean, I pitched during spring training, but like it's really kind of fascinating to like. I mean, when we started the Rays season, I was kind of in a backseat too because I was like the new guy, and I got fucking lit up, and so I just like put myself in the backseat for the first part of the season. But yeah, it's really fascinating having 3 other people who have a lot of opinions and an approach to scouting, and then it's the challenge is like, okay, well, how do we three, sort of decide, which approach gets primacy when we're talking to teammates? How do we come up with a number together? So it's a lot more collaborative than I was used to. It feels a little bit more like FCB, except people actually, know what they're doing.
Okay, so just looking back at the first 2 innings, gave up 4 runs, one of them being a 2-run home run.
Rough.
But then from the top of the third, I only gave up 2 singles, a double, and a sac fly.
That's a pretty good game, Dan. I mean, that's a pretty good game.
It's a big
Like,
turnaround. So
Your
Yeah.
stat line is not going to show up, but that's a win. I mean, it's a personal win at least. Where is everybody? Why is nobody talking? What are we doing here?
I was listening.
Okay, all right.
Jeez.
Not a
two were
pitcher, open pitchers
active.
talk.
You two were
had
active
two
having a
at-bats.
conversation. What do you mean? Why is nobody talking?
Oh, there was like some quiet time. This is a podcast. Let's go.
I'm not playing Balatro instead of.
Cole.
I knew you
Yes,
were.
you
I
are.
knew it. I knew that was happening. That's why I was like, come on, y'all.
Were we supposed to do an
Cool.
ad read?
Are we supposed to do an intro?
yeah, did we even
I think we're just
Hey.
starting
yet?
now.
Hey,
Is any
of this gonna be
podcast. Welcome
To
to
top of the
podcast.
10th,
There we go.
a MLR podcast that we do sometimes.
Every
when,
single week. Every single week.
Every single week, yeah.
Mhm.
you know,
Every week.
52 installments a year.
Our contract we negotiated with the top 5 podcasts explicitly states that we get to take very long duration sabbaticals whenever we feel like it.
I think
Yeah.
really it was just Total said a whole lot of stuff that we just couldn't air in the last one. We all had to kind of take a step back and think about it.
Yeah, I'm
And
sorry.
every other recording that we have had since that last one.
I've been banned from being allowed to talk.
Total's not allowed to talk anymore. I'm actually
No.
going to cut everything he says this episode.
So
Well,
don't
we actually
worry
tried
about
to.
it.
That's
We tried to stop him from talking. He's got a filthy mouth, but then he started sending in videos of him doing like inappropriate gestures, and that's when it really got to be too much.
I was doing that
yeah.
before anyway. That hasn't changed. I'm still doing that.
All right, keep your fingers down. we
No,
can see
I'm
them.
no, I need to figure it out since by the time this season's done, I'll be a dad, which is weird to think about.
Interesting.
I know.
Okay, we're going to speed run the season so that we can make you a liar.
Yes.
Everyone play really fast.
tell us
We'll
a
have
Yeah,
to
tempo.
luckily
get-
all the teams are going really fast right now.
CJ, do you have a proposal that can help with this?
Yeah.
Yes, actually, but we'll
I think I was about to say wait, you actually do have that.
Wait a minute.
I'm
what
sitting
would
on one
you-
right now. I'm waiting for a meltdown on a pace of play issue.
Oh, we almost had one today, but luckily my drama overtook it. What is your success
I
rate?
missed
with
all of
your-
that.
It was in fucking nothing. It was whatever. CJ, what is your success rate on your proposal so far?
Exactly 0%.
Yeah, wow, nice. Very good. Very good. You know,
Keep
they
at
say
it,
you
You
make
got
all the-
like, I think you got like 60% on one. I don't
Yeah,
remember
the
which one it
60%
was.
on the flyout one was
Yeah,
close.
that's fly on. Yeah.
Missed it by
CJ,
like
have you
1 or
heard
2
the phrase-
votes.
CJ, have you heard the phrase "you miss all the shots that you don't take"? You
That's
actually
functionally
miss
my
all the
approach to
shots
this.
that you take. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
CJ misses all the shots he does take.
yeah. That poster's a fucking lie.
I mean, he would also miss all of the shots he doesn't take, I guess.
Yeah. Like, it
That's
doesn't
true.
change the fact if I didn't propose it, they wouldn't change anyways.
You're planting a seed for future ideas. I think. I think there's a long con here.
I think
No,
there's
that's-
going to be a lot more active participants in those kinds of conversations, just with how much like this new class is intrigued by that stuff. I'm sure
Yeah.
there'll be more talks. In the
Speaking
future.
of this new class, do you guys want to discuss FCB and how that whole process in season went?
I miss Dave. He got
That's
banned.
a
I miss
Oh, yeah.
baseball.
baseball.
Rest in peace,
Baseball.
Dave. Rest in peace, Dave.
Baseball.
got banned.
Oh,
That was
no.
genuinely exciting
Don't
drama.
all. It's pretty simple to not alt.
Yeah, but
I can see the temptation, but that's already enough crap to manage just being involved. Never mind trying to be 2 different people involved.
yeah.
I'm not active enough as it is, so.
CJ's actually really active.
Yeah,
on his
CJ's
other
not active because he's more active on his alt than his
Yeah.
actual main.
Yeah, which one is it though?
I don't know. Chalk banana.
It might be.
Yeah,
I
Actually.
tried.
Yeah, you tried to take it, Dave.
No, it was not allowed.
I like this.
He changed back to chalk banana, didn't he?
He
He
did,
did.
yeah. I like
How
this
do we?
rookie class a lot because our class nobody talked whatsoever. It was so silent.
You did.
I talked,
Yeah,
yeah, and
Even he
Dan.
did.
You
Yeah.
talked enough. You talked enough for everybody. Nobody else needed to.
Yeah.
I think the really interesting thing too is when you have a set of like younger players, like I think season 9, season 10, rookies, whatever players, they're not rookies now, really being involved and having the right type of people that are on the sort of front line of FCB really sets the tone. And I think right now, again, limited view here, you're seeing sort of the fruit of the labor of like getting people excited about the game. I think that there was a lot more interaction. At least it felt like it from my end, from season 10 with the season 11 rookies than there was maybe season 9 to season 10. But maybe it's just bias or something. But I think that's one of the really things that one of the things that I think is really bringing that 11 class. But it's only been a couple of weeks, to be honest. So we haven't really had enough time to sit with them yet and to see which ones flame out and see which ones step up and that kind of thing.
I think it's true that we'll see a lot of rookies be disgruntled with where they landed. And that will like motivate them to spread out and not just talk in one clubhouse, but try to spread out and talk in many clubhouses.
I
Who do
feel
you
like
think's
that probably
bad
happens
about?
every season.
Yeah, I feel like I think that's just a common thing.
We'd like to remind you that the Top of the 10th podcast is brought to you by Teddy's Soda Parlor. Have another world famous bully egg cream. Fizzy and sweet will beat the heat. Thanks to Teddy's for bringing you Top of the 10th podcast.
Another thing that is another thing I think is really going to be interesting is the season 11 class saw a bunch of off-season movement, which I think, according to like the read from the league, seems to have been unusually large this year. People leaving their teams. There was a crazy free agent class. The free agent hype was really really big this year.
Yeah.
It felt like.
Yeah.
And
I
wasn't
mean,
like that.
I don't know. The free agent hype kind of is a mixed bag because a lot of people left, I think, with an intended destination already, and so there wasn't as much ambiguity as some people made it seem, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there was a lot. There was a lot in free agency going on this year, and I mean, we picked up Dan from the Red Sox. I think he was on before.
Dan
And we
can do
didn't-
it.
We no. Shoot, what's his player name? I'm terrible.
Some guy, okay.
Blah 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 blah. Hold on.
Dan
Just keep
Von-
talking. I'll come up with it
Dan,
in a minute.
Dan
So,
Von
speaking of-
Doom from the Cardinals.
No.
I had
Dan
I had no idea
That
he
one.
was in Miami now.
He's
I have
the
to
only
look
Dan.
it up.
So speaking of
there's a
free
lot of
agency,
mo-
Cop, how did your whole process go?
Well, I
yeah.
didn't expect. I didn't expect to be. Well, I wasn't a free agent, right? I like left. It was
Found
interesting
it.
because. Oh, go ahead. Who was the Dan?
Fizbear Doormat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, mine was interesting. I mean, I didn't expect. And I think we've talked about it on the podcast. I really wanted to be a one-team, one-player guy. It didn't work out for reasons. So I mean, I always wanted to play for the Orioles. However, I really had to. I mean, I liked that was the reason I really wanted to be a pitcher and stay a pitcher is because I saw Tap and the Orioles play, and you guys know I like winning, and I like place a lot of importance on that. Even
You
if it's
like
goofy.
winning?
Love it. So the
What a shock!
biggest, yeah, fucking gross. I'm disgusting. Shit. Fucking roll around in my wins. I print them out. I print out the whole game on paper and I roll around in them. It's gross. And so anyway, I wanted to play for the Orioles, but I did shop around. And what's funny is I really wanted to join the Dodgers at first. I really wanted that clubhouse experience. So I reached out to the Dodgers GM. Actually, I forgot which one it was. Not not dildo, but the other one. And he's like, "Oh, we're trying to, I'll talk to you in a little bit, but I'm busy." And then he like forgot to get back to me, and I'm like, "Well, if he forgot to get back to me, that tells me what I need to know." And so then I started shopping around a little bit, looking at different teams, and then I talked to the Orioles, and then Makoto was going there, and I'd been talking to Makoto a lot, and because I wanted him to join the Rays with me. I really wanted like a really really killer lineup, a rotation rather. And then I just like, you know what, fucking, I'm gonna go to the Orioles and I'm gonna be part of this super giant rotation. And then if they want me to change, I will, because I've shown that I can pitch. Maybe I should go show that I could hit. It's kind of one of those little like weird personal narratives I developed. So it was really easy for me. And then also, people reached out to me, unlike FCB, and so I had a ton of offers and conversations about where to go, and I really wanted to play with some buds. So it was an interesting process. It wasn't very scary for me.
I wanna just take the opportunity to throw some shade at Makoto. Stop being so good. Stop being so good at pitching.
Yeah, dude, no one. It sucks. He's awesome. He's great. Yeah,
He's too
Stop
good.
being so good.
he's very good. Yeah. Oh, and he told me. I mean,
So
like we talk about it now, and he told me how he pitches, and it drives me fucking insane.
Just stop. Just stop doing it.
he's
Yeah,
got
I'll
a
do it.
system.
It's a system.
It was interesting to hear about, that sort of free agency experience because when I was promoted to captain on the Cardinals, that linked me into a lot of our, off-season player acquisitions and free agency and pulling all those strings and trying to figure out who we're gonna get, how we're gonna get them. That was a lot of fun. I like coming at it from that angle where you're trying to fight for people's attention and get them to say yes. And we were lucky; we were able to get two of our targets, Sid and Cheech, and they've been great additions so far to the clubhouse. I really enjoy playing with Sid ever since the Bobcat days, and we wanted to get that back, and it worked out.
We still gotta get Sid on the podcast,
We
Yeah,
do
which
he's
is a
got to be
thing that we do regularly.
every
Of
week.
course.
We got our free agency started out a bit rough. It was just person after person. It was just like nope, nope, nope. But we got Bonesy and Jimbo, which they have both been extremely good. Um, so and I feel like our clubhouse is at a really good point on the internal side, and we're trying to like expand our server out to like do more stuff in the general chat. Like we've got the Oakland Music League. We're doing fantasy baseball as well on our server, so we're starting to get into a pretty good spot overall.
We gotta do fantasy baseball too. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love fantasy baseball.
I don't know the last time I played fantasy baseball. I probably was in high school.
This is my first time.
I played last season actually for the first
It's
time, I think.
it's so much better
We
than fantasy football.
Yes, I feel like you can control more, and it's more often. You can keep track of it. I've been in a fantasy baseball league with my fraternity buddies for almost 14 years now. So we keep it going. We bet every year, and it was an honors fraternity. So it's just like these like super fucking brainy dummy, people who just like people who should be doing something else with their free time, and everybody just sits there. It's kind of like they like have all these like spreadsheets and math and blah 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 blah, and it kind of feels a little like MLR, but it's just this super hyper competitive. We're all trying to outsmart each other kind of thing. But it's really fun to stay with a group that long.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's gonna be us
I hope
in
so.
2 years, 3 years, 10 years. We're gonna all be Uga. We're never gonna retire. We're just gonna play fake baseball forever.
Yeah, I don't
We
see
need
a
to
reason why I
pinpoint
would retire.
we need to pinpoint a spot on the map where we can that's like between all of us. and then do a live podcast.
Where would that be? Where's
between-
everybody again?
You're in California, aren't you, Copernicus?
I'm in California.
So we got a long way to go.
Yeah, I'm in
Yeah.
Boston. So wherever
So-
the middle of California and Boston is.
Somewhere in
gonna-
Kansas,
St.
probably.
Yeah, see, we're going. Yeah, we're
St.
gonna
Louis.
Unless you go to
Not that
Chicago.
far
honestly
from me,
might
honestly.
be it.
I mean,
Around
we
there might
could
be
meet
it.
Chicago.
Chicago would be the more exciting journey.
I
St.
would
Louis
do
would be
Chicago.
cheaper.
I
It
have-
would be.
I have friends in Chicago. I would go visit.
I have a
And
cousin
I can take
could
you
go
to the comedy scene around there. I have a bunch of friends because I was in the comedy scene in Chicago for a bit, so that'd be fun.
That would be awesome.
I would also be
Yeah.
interested in Denver.
Ooh, I've never
Denver's
been.
fun.
Denver's probably a little far for me to travel. Chicago is like a road trip for me. Denver's
Same.
like I need to fly.
It's also, of everybody here, it's probably easiest for me to fly, given I have an all-you-can-fly pass.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a what?
Okay, so we're not going to Denver.
I have Frontier's all-you-can-fly pass. That's how I've hit so many baseball stadiums the last few years.
Dude,
How is
cool.
Frontier?
Oh, I mean, when I have gold status at this point with them, so it's like flying a normal airline for the most part.
Okay.
But other than that, it's an airline.
CJ, why are you so cool?
Yeah, CJ.
Because I get bored.
Hey, that actually makes sense.
Checks out.
I'm so cool because I don't have anything else to do.
Between work, wife, and kid, I go like I got nothing
Dude,
else on my
you're
mind
really cool
except-
too, actually. We're
Well,
all,
Yeah,
we're all
dude.
actually
David,
really
you're pretty
cool.
cool.
We make do with the time that we can get, but my wife and I we're like in a constant crunch. It feels like every single day. There's always a new thing that pops up that you just gotta buckle down and deal with. And you work towards like, okay, just 2-3 more months of all this work that I'm dealing with, and then I can like hit cruise control, and then all of a sudden it's like, nope, it's Christmas and the holidays, so you got to do all
actually,
that.
no, you can't.
Life will always throw you a curveball.
All right, so what about the rookies on your teams, or should we move on to just like season stuff now?
Well, I love
Man.
the rookies on my team. We've got 2 of my Dartmouth players, both pitchers, and then we got Schmitty, another Dartmouth player who's our hitter. So it's been easy transition for me and hopefully for them.
I mean, backing up a little, Dan, in total, what'd you think of being an FCB GMs?
Yeah, let's do that
It's
first.
fun. I had a blast.
Really loved it. I would do it again. It was a challenge to like your first experience managing a group of players. Well, it wasn't for me because I did have the Team America and the All-Star break, but that was kind of a whirlwind, so you didn't really get to feel it over a course of several games. And I liked it. I could see being a GM in the future if the right opportunity arose.
I think it's probably my favorite part of all of MLR because I don't know, I've always found joy in like introducing something I like to someone else. So to have this whole group, which from us ranged from people who were like 16 to I think our oldest player was like 42.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a cool thing to have. Like you, I don't think in life you can see people with that much of an age gap in the exact same place, learning the same things at the same time. So that was fun to just kind of help them along, and it's really fun to watch. Watch the connection start to form. They're like, oh, that's why they threw this pitch, or oh, they're trying this against us when we're at bat. So that's I would do it again, for sure. I just don't know how much time I'll have when that's. I'm sure once this child
You'll
is
have
born,
a baby to
I will
deal
yes.
with.
I will have way less time. And
You'll-
So we'll see.
Start early. Teach your child to play MLR, and then you can just like merge those tasks.
Yeah,
Swing 69, but should be his first words.
and being a GM now in MLN2, I'm doing stuff over there a lot now, so I'm all over the place.
Totally.
I
You love
really
showing
like
people.
my.
Oh, go ahead,
Hmm?
Dan.
I was gonna say I really like my MILR team, the Lobsters. Unfortunately, we didn't win this first match, but against the Habanero. But I really like my team. They've got great chemistry so far. We've been really having fun in the clubhouse. I love having like a bunch of GMs and veterans and like MLR captains on the team. It helps so much with just like figuring out managerial style, tips and tricks, and they're already so skilled in like uh, mixing with players. So it's been really easy. I've gotten super lucky in FCB. I was lucky to have such an active team, and then with the way the draft fell, I was able to get like so many people on my uh, tiers that I had listed out in like the big board. Every single time a rookie got taken early in the first couple rounds in MILR, I was like, okay, I have another, S-rated prospect here that I didn't think was going to be available. And so I just kept picking them and wound up with very few rookies on my team.
I think I have one on my team, and he was the best player in the game, the last game, the best hitter anyway.
I think we have, because I've got Elijah as co, so that's the one. I think I have four in all. I know Rocky Mountain has five because it was a thing that I had just talked about with someone else, and then I don't. I mean the dogs are almost all FCP
Isn't that Joel's
players.
team? Joel went
Yes,
all.
it is. Yeah, Joel went all in, and it really screwed up my board really fast. So I had
I
to
think that was
make
a
some
really cool move by Joel.
changes on the fly.
I mean, your team's good, but who did you guys? What team were you again?
The IL Delfino Rainbow Roadsters.
Oh, that's right. That's a cool one. Right. How'd you guys do in the first game?
We won. We won 5-3, I think, against Shorty's team.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, yeah. Kenny Powers had a 500 diff and a 0 diff in
Nice.
the game, so that was insane to watch happen.
So he hit a 0 diff and he pitched one. Is that what happened? Or
No, he got 500 diffed in his first at bat, and then he hit a 0 diff.
oh, killer.
Yeah, it was insane.
Yeah, I
The
think Joel did
duality
something
of
really.
MLR.
Yeah, that's right. Joel did something really interesting by picking all rookies. I thought that was really smart of him. One, I think it's gonna have them be pretty active. The thing I mean, not concerned about, but like one of the things I think that the rookies might miss there. I don't know. I'm just thinking about it. I don't have any concerns, or there's no right or wrong to it. But I do think that there is something valuable about rookies really mixing with veterans on a team. But maybe they get to do that on their MLR teams anyway, so maybe it's not that big of a deal.
But it's
I think it's fun to
interesting.
watch.
Yeah, it's interesting to connect them with veterans from other teams that they wouldn't necessarily get to hang out with. And I'm hoping that by having a bunch of MLR captains and GMs on my squad, the rookies on my team, they'll be able to make some good connections and get like good advice on how to interpret the game, how to play the game, and then that can help take some of the burden off of me. There's a
Nice.
lot to teach rookies as like especially in FCB. And
Oh
there were
yeah,
things that would you don't think of it at the time, and then it arises in a game situation. You're like, oh, right, hold on, real quick, let me explain, what infield in is, or let me explain steal numbers, because I haven't introduced that to you guys because we're trying to take it slow. But now that the opportunity has presented itself, this is how it applies. I really
I
enjoyed that teaching aspect.
My kind of idea for as this season went on was I would like talk more about scouting and stuff like as the games went on, and I remember it was in like session 3 or 4 where our team was scouting. They're like, okay, let's just do the exact same swing again. So I would follow their games and I would like shadow scout and everything, and I was like, oh, so does the pitcher have a tendency to swing chase? And they were like, no, they've never chased the swing. And I was like, okay, well, I would take that into consideration. And then I see that a swing goes in and they go for the swing chase. It was completely off. And I DM'd Sterling and I was like, dude, I can only help so much. So it's so much fun to just like watch those things occur early on, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, Total said that they don't do that," and I was like, "What went wrong here, guys? Let's talk about this. What happened?"
Top of the 10th podcast brought to you by Noah Diamond's Triplicate Life Insurance. Triple the payout for triple the cost.
It's fun. I feel like the best part is people realizing how complicated this game can really get.
Yeah, I think this game can be as complicated as you want to make it, or as easy as you want to make it. I mean, like there
Yeah.
is something totally valid about coming in and fucking having three swings that you always swing, mixing them up. I mean, Junie did. I mean, I am sure Junie's process was more complicated than that. I didn't want to speak for him, but from the outside,
69.
69, 569, on occasional throw in, something in between. But like, that's a totally valid strategy, but it's also valid to sit and like stare at a spreadsheet for 30 minutes, which, we know people do. I do it. Um, so I love just watching people also like figure out what kind of player they want to be. I think that's been pretty fascinating.
It is.
Yeah, they kind of grow into it.
I think it's really like what kind of, I mean, at the end of the day, it kind of comes down to like what kind of free time do you have, and what do you want out of the community, and what do you want to put into it, and that kind of thing.
There is I've seen just from when we all joined to now that the way MLR has shifted of it being more of a game or of it being a game, it's really becoming more of like you're here for the community and not to just put in one number 2 times a week. So like you're seeing like I mean there was a bunch of people that went undrafted this season that were more than just someone to have on your bench that didn't talk, but like were people who did talk and like were around in the clubhouse. And I mean, there was um, a bunch of those that went undrafted and talked have been signed, and I think you're seeing that people don't just need that silent stranger, but they want someone to talk and communicate because that's just how big the league is now.
Yeah, people can get choosy about what their wish list is.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier this in our podcast, I was one of those people that, I mean, I think I said it pretty controversially. I think everybody here was kind of like, whoa, where I was like, I would rather win than have like a good clubhouse. I think I was probably wrong on that after sitting with it for a little bit.
Hey, is that on the episode that never went out?
Oh, yeah,
Hey, hold on now. Hold on. I'm working on it.
Oh, are we still planning on putting that out?
Yes.
I forgot.
I'm gonna.
It's
listen,
a lost tape, CJ.
My thesis is submitted.
Okay.
It's
Yay!
gone.
Oh,
It's
congrats.
out of here.
Congrats.
I have free time again. I can actually edit. That's why we're recording today, because I have hope that I will edit this within the next week and a half.
Woo!
So,
That
And
would
if
yeah.
not,
clutch.
happy Halloween, everyone.
Yeah, well,
I almost choked on my moonshine.
We'll be prepared
Speaking
just
of,
in case.
listen, all right. This is I mean I've told people via Discord or whatever. I'm back in the United States. I don't know that when did we record the last one? Was I still in Japan?
It would have
you must have
been
been.
November.
I think it was early November,
I
and we made a bunch of happy
It
holiday
would have been
jokes.
yes. So I think it was around that
Oh,
time.
okay. Well, maybe I was back in the U.S. by then. I'm back in the U.S. I have quit my PhD. I've submitted a master's thesis to try to get some amount of credit out of what I've done. And so I have access to moonshine now, and that's what I'm drinking right now.
Is that what you get for completing that? For
Yeah, I've
getting done with your stuff?
returned to the great and racist state of Tennessee,
Hey now.
and I get moonshine for that.
Tennessee still juice.
Uh,
We were talking earlier about being uh, GMs, which I'm doing MILR GM. Thank you, Total, for the advocation or the advocacy on your side, rather. Advocacy is the word. One of the things that I wanted to ask you, everybody, about is it's like one of the things that's really hard about being a GM is you're really responsible for people for the first time. I mean, like really responsible for them. Like people are like there to have a good time, and you're like getting play time and making sure everybody's got the right number of at bats, but you're still trying to be competitive. Maybe you're not trying to be competitive. As a new GM and me, but also the people who might be listening, what advice would you give? And CJ and Cole, I know you haven't been GMs yet, maybe, but like, what do you want to see from a GM?
um, sign Elijah Walker as your co and make him do all the work. That's
Yeah.
my advice.
Okay.
No, I've been, for me, because I was the only rookie GM last season. So when Mark had me as his co, he went, I'm gonna have you do all the stuff because I want you to have the experience, and if you need help, I'm here. So I really took that and I created one of the most mid teams of all time. Um, but it was fun. And I think I had that same idea with Elijah, where from me being a co there to being co in FCB, I feel like I'm kind of seasoned in how to GM just a tiny bit. So I mean, I've got more understanding than someone who's new would have. But Elijah really wanted to run with the team and wanted to do all the stuff, and I was like, you do what you want. There are a few things that I like to doing, like doing like lineups and stuff like that. I have fun with like trying to find like see who the other team's gonna have pitched, trying to make the best lineup for that. But I really let him do a lot of the work. Um, but I mean, like I'm still around all the time. I think the main thing is to realize as a GM that even though you're like in charge of these, like in charge of the team, like you're all still just players on the same team too. So I don't like my personality as a GM versus as a player is the exact same. Um, and overall, the best thing is to just have fun on your team.
Yeah. Uh, I guess that rolls into what my advice would be is when you're a GM of MILR and you're going into the draft, just pick people you like and want to play with, that you would want to hang out and chat with, because you're going to be running that chat room. So make life easy on yourself by making it people you want to hang out with.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then,
that
towards the end of the draft, there'll be names that you may no longer be familiar with, so you take a chance on a few people and get to meet some new people.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing about MILR is it's a chance to play with teammates you most likely wouldn't have the chance to. Because I know for me, I'm like, I didn't draft anyone from the athletics just because I'm like I play with them and talk to them all the time anyway. So I didn't see a point to play with them again. Um, so I'm like, I need to go over my list. Um, there are some like there's Ferdinand Fritz William I know from MLN, which I was his GM over there, and I wanted to play on a team with him. I wanted to play with Pope. I wanted to play with Kenny Powers, Hakuna Mankata. I wanted to play with too. So just a bunch of names that I'm like, this is gonna be my one chance to play with them. And then there's John, which I just like John.
Cole, CJ?
CJ?
Yeah. What?
I'm
what
thinking,
do you-
like, you know,
Alright,
as a
yeah. When are you
as a
gonna get
player,
talk
you know, the
about
one thing I would want in a GM beyond all the chat room stuff is make sure you know the rules and when to do the bot commands. You don't intentionally walk in a run to end the game, and
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Be competent.
yeah.
When are you signing up, CJ?
Talk to me in May.
it?
May. The season will be over by May.
No, it won't.
It'll
I
be
think
halfway
we're playing-
through.
I think we're playing 16 games for MILR this season. I think.
Well, that's good. More games is better.
Yeah,
More games.
So-
No, I'm not going to sign up until after the semester's over.
smart.
Smart.
That's fair.
All right, Cole, I've been your GM. What do you think about my GMing so far?
You're good. You're active. You make sure that people scout. You are involved in the scouting yourself. That's pretty good. 11 out of 10 would get drafted again.
Well, yeah, you for sure would. By the way, there's a lot of
What have I
responsibility.
done for Mylar aside from fucking I hit a triple?
Yeah, that's what I
Ugh.
needed you to do.
Look at this guy, man. I've only gone on to third base. What have I done?
What else did I do? I don't remember.
I think that's probably it for the secret so far. But you're a great clubhouse presence, Cole.
I struck out, and I hit a triple. That was
That's a
it.
good triple. That's a good triple.
No, wait, hold on. I struck out again.
Okay, well, you did have 4 at bats. I think you had the most at bats of anybody. So
I did.
congrats.
Thank you.
I think the thing that's been really interesting there is is again feeling obligated and being responsible for people's good time, which is just a totally different role. Like total, you were saying your GM style and your player style is the same. I think I'm a completely different person over there. I don't even really want to play. I just want to make sure everybody that I drafted is getting playing time, and I don't want to. I'm trying not to put myself in there too much, and so I like close games. Goaty went like basically a whole game, and so I think that's been really. It's sort of unlocked a weird. I don't know. I don't have my own kid, but a paternalistic instinct to just like be good for everyone. But it's also how I felt when I was talking to the rookies. I was like, okay, well, I went in to make sure you have a good time. Here's all this information. So it's been pretty eye opening. It feels. I didn't think I would like it as much as I did, but I'm really enjoying it.
That's good.
If you want to have fun in this league, you are playing the league wrong. It's not about fun.
How many of your players have you played with before that are on your current MILR team?
Mine?
Yeah. Or maybe your Cope too.
Let me see. 2. Casper, Greenwell, and John were the only ones I drafted last year.
I played with.
Everyone else, it's my first time with them.
I played with Ross
got-
on the Rays. Oh, go ahead, Dan.
Yeah.
So I played with Ross on the Rays, and then Babe Abraham Lincoln is my MLN GM, and so I basically asked him to co-GM with me because I knew he had experience, but he also is like, just kind of lets me do what I want, and he's there to answer questions. But really, it's two people.
So hold on. Babe was an MLN GM before he entered the MLR FCB.
Yep.
Yes. He's heir. He leads the Peregrine. So when we were in, I think we were rookies together, right? Babe was a rookie with us.
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah.
He was on my team.
That's right. So anyway, I wanted to play MLN while I was in FCB, and so I went over there, and he goes, "Hey, you're a rookie with me. Come join the Peregrines." And so that's how I met him there, and then I hang out with him a lot. So anyway, yeah, he's been around for a little bit, I guess. People know him. He's a good dude.
I think I only have 3 that I played with, plus Jacob Thomas, who was one of my players on Dartmouth. Strawberry's my co-GM because he was my GM in FCB, and since then we've wanted to play together. Just this was the season that it finally worked out. And then I've got Jedi Knight, who was also on the Bobcats, and John Baseball, who I played with both of them on Staten Island. And they're kind of a package deal. You draft one, you got to draft the other. It's a situationship.
Nice.
But they're super fun. Like, I chat with them in the Staten Island General channel. It's like day and night. So I knew I had to get them on there because they could be big drivers of activity, and they're just generally fun people to hang out with. And then everyone else was people that I like hanging out with and wanted to play with. Like, I've got Friday and Daryl Fotani, or aka Tensor, Weller, Captain Trash. It was a good draft. I enjoyed it.
I really wanted Captain
It was a
Trash,
fun
by
time.
the way. Pretty jealous.
I did
Glad
too. All of us were sad when he was off the board.
I was upset. And Salami. Those are my. And Domino.
love
I wrote a
Captain
bunch
Trash.
of
He's great. He's
cool.
He's my co-GM. He's real good.
Oh, Cole! I didn't realize you were a GM.
No,
Congratulations.
he's co-GM for the Marlins.
Yeah, I took Marlins. I was like, that's a team that I like hanging out with and chatting with. So
We're chill.
I
We're pretty
I
good.
was hoping to get you, Cole, but it wasn't in the cards.
No, it was not.
Cole was my
I
first pick
was-
besides Cody.
I
I've done
stuck with...
next to nothing.
You hit a
Yeah.
triple, Colt. Shut
Well,
up.
I
what do you
know,
need?
but I was supposed to put together a scouting sheet for
Oh my god.
MILR, and I didn't. I will.
No, the one downside
happen.
about being an MILR GM is that I feel like I'm not going to get to play.
I mean,
Yeah,
you
I
still-
don't want to
mean,
put
you,
myself in.
You make
get
the
to choose.
lineup.
yeah, you get to choose.
It feels
Yeah,
bad to
but-
put yourself in now.
It does.
What I do is I make sure at least one GM is not playing, so they're set for conditionals, so you always have someone there in case. So like I had Elijah play this first game, and then I sat, and then I'm gonna play in game 2. So
that's really
I mean,
smart.
because yeah, so then we always know for sure that there's someone there to put one in case.
Those are the hot tips I was looking for. That's a good idea. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Well, now you know.
Thank you. Well, I approached the draft a little differently than it sounds like Dan and maybe Total did. I did draft people I wanted, but I also was trying to I mean, this is again not going to be surprising. I tried to put together the team that would win. That's
Your
why I
team
was
is
interested.
absolutely
Whoa,
insane.
hold on
Your
now.
team
What a
is
crazy idea.
Your team is absolute. Watching your picks, I was like, this is going to be the most wild team this league has ever seen.
Why do you think that? Like, when you said, I was confused, but I was like, does he
There's
know about these people? I just didn't.
there's
Yeah.
so many personalities there, like
Oh,
very outspoken players there. So that's like just seeing it occur. Like I there were a few of us that were like, because I knew instantly. I was like, he's drafting based off of who did the best last year. I can already tell.
that's
I
exactly
could
right.
tell
Yeah.
immediately.
That's right.
So like I was going through like my draft board and like comparing it to like what you were doing, and also by the way, it was so much fun to see what teams were prioritizing what players, because there were people that I had in like my I might take them if they're there like round 10 were gone like the first 2 to 3 rounds, and I was like, okay, we have very unique mindsets when it comes to this. um but no, I could tell with yours, just I I knew what your idea was instantly. It was so funny.
It was really mathematical for me for the most part. I mean, I just was like, how much war can I draft? Basically, is what I did. Um, and I tried to get a good mix of players who met that. And then there was a couple of personality hires. Like, I was like, okay, well, this will be fun. And then after a certain bit,
Like that
um, huh?
Cole Slaw guy.
Yeah, Cole Slaw was my
Ooh.
personality hire. I didn't think he would accomplish much. Um, but
I'm terrible at fake baseball.
but I mean, I really like the personalities that are there are really funny. I mean, Kevin James and Air or Sojo or Babe are like big rivals in MLN, so they just go at it in the clubhouse, and it's really fun to watch. I mean, it's all friendly,
Jesus Christ.
but it's very funny to watch. And then Kevin hates being Canadian, and obviously the Victoria's Secrets are a Canadian team, and so he just like bitches about that. And it's really fun. It's really fun. It's a good group.
Well, let's just be a provincial Australian team. We'll be Victoria, Australia instead.
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
Well, I would, but I already loaded up our server's TV channel with Victoria, British Columbia commercials, and I can't delete those now.
That's true. That's true. That did happen.
Good lord.
Hey everyone, just letting you know that the Top of the 10th podcast is presented by the Dayman Pet Supply. Try their new Pet Mom nursing vest. Let your kittens suckle as nature intended. Genuine cat milk is sold separately. Why the fuck are we sponsored by this?
Welcome back from that ad break, folks. We are just about to wrap up for the episode, but first we'd like to pitch our goals for the end of the season. What are you guys trying to accomplish this year?
Let's
I mean,
go
my
in
goal is
order
the
of
same
the
as it was
draft.
last year. That works too. Fuck me, I
Oh,
guess.
sorry, CJ. Fuck you, CJ. You can wait for 3. Wait for 3.
Am I going first?
Number
Please
1.
do.
Okay. I think my goals. I think I've thrown most like solo goals out the door. My goal is to just help Oakland get further into the playoffs. I would like to see us be in the top 4 or top 2 teams this year. And I think that's. I would also like to actually have a hit. I don't have a hit yet, which sucks. I got a 170 fly out, which hurt a lot. So I would I would like to get on base if that's the goal for myself.
You'll get there.
He won't.
Oh, what the hell?
Hey, it only took me 6, 7 games in MLN to get a hit.
and it was a home run, so I'll take it.
I'm slugging that whole 334.
Woo!
Okay, now it's time for Cole. Yeah.
I want to
Edit more podcast episodes.
sure.
Big goal.
I want to invent and win a Sophomore of the Year award
Oh, very nice.
because
Nice.
I didn't win Rookie of the Year, and I'm
Neither
salty
did I,
about
brother.
it.
Me too.
Yeah, but like I actually had a chance.
All right,
You know,
asshole.
not
You just hit like 3 more home runs, it would have been yours.
Yeah. Well, what the hell?
Yeah. Sad.
not being in contention for Rookie of the Year was a big weight off my shoulders.
Yes, it was. I felt cool and relaxed the entire time because I was just an okay player. CJ's turn.
My goal, the same as it was last season, is just to be an above average hitter. Making the playoffs would be nice. Finishing the scouting bot would be nice. But the main goal is just to be above average.
You're above average in my heart, CJ.
Shut up.
And the
Really
home run to
above
start the year helps a lot in that category.
It definitely does.
Listen, I have to be annoying or I lose my charm.
I don't know if that's how that works.
It is.
Okay.
Now it's
All right, Dan.
My goal is the same as last year. I want to get a win. I want a pitching win.
It's such a
I think
sad
we can
goal to
do it.
have.
I
think
love
we can
that
do
goal.
it.
It's so, I love that CJ's goal is to be like, yeah, I still want to be, I still want to be an above average guy. And Dan's is, I just want to win, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna sound like a
it's-
fucking asshole.
Well, the Cardinals obviously have had some losses from the roster from the end of last year to this year, but we made some additions, and I think we're in a good spot overall.
And notoriously, wins are only a pitcher stat.
Yeah.
Nothing else
right.
affects that.
Of course, yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, clearly.
But if you don't give up any runs, it's easier to win.
It's true.
Yeah, that is correct. Could have used you earlier in MLR main. Is it my turn? All right. Okay, so I don't know. Now I feel like a fucking asshole. I would like to win a second paper cup in a row. That would be really nice. It felt great. I mean, it was beyond great to win, to be on a winning team and to contribute to that. It was felt really good. My individual goals will take a back seat this year because I'll be splitting my time between getting a pitching an inning every now and again, and then I'll start hitting in session 8 or whenever that is. So I won't have any time to put up probably any numbers to get me in any of the individual award conversations. So the paper cup is the goal. Also MILR. I hope that I would like to win the whatever the fucking that cup's called. So I don't even know what it's called. So
The other
Styrofoam
cup.
yeah, the other cup. I just want to be a good GM, honestly. I just want everybody to have fun, and of course, at the end of the day, I want to win. But yeah, that's my goal: paper cup.
Oh,
and,
yeah,
MILR cup.
my other goal is to in MILR session 5 is to give up 0 runs.
Who are you
as I
playing?
pitch. A team called the Victoria's Secrets.
We are gonna fucking destroy you. I'm so excited.
I will let you know now that game I am going to pitch.
Hey man.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Gonna get lit up.
It's gonna be fun. Either way.
I'm going to scout.
Oh man.
Me
Oh
too.
wait, you don't have
It's-
any data though. I'm screwed.
No-
Never mind.
No, I don't. Yeah. haha. Well, cool.
I'll cheat.
Thanks
I'll
everyone.
cheat instead. It's fine.
Thanks everyone for tuning into the top of the 10th. It's been a long time, but we're still here and alive.
You made it this far. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
And we love
Yeah,
you all.
Yeah.
If you're still here, what the fuck?
Did I make
Yeah,
it
I'm
clear
just-
that this long break is because I had a thesis to write and I hate myself?
Tell us about your thesis real quick.
Thanks everyone. We'll
Um,
see you next time.
Thank you.
Goodbye.